Life is a time pass, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, पता नहीं, जो थारी राय सो मारी राय, nothing to do, nowhere to go, देखो सुनो मत बोलो, wherever, whenever, whatever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक, किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो, ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना, who asked you live at zero complaint level, मौज में रहो, be happy.
Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are studying Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and we are in the third chapter and the seventh Brahman and the first mantra. Why this chapter started, we have seen yesterday that Idanim Brahma Lokanam Antaratamam Sutram Vaktavyam Iti. Now one has to tell the innermost controller, sutra, the thread, that is to be told. And therefore, this is told through the story. Tacha agamena eva prashtavyam iti asena agamopanyasa kriyate. Now, this has to be known only through the scriptural studies, learning at the feet of the Acharya. To tell this particular point, we have seen this first mantra. See, there was one person whose name was Aruni, Uddalaka's son, and he said, once I went here and there and I came across one lady and she was possessed by Gandharva, and then we asked that Gandharva, who are you? So he told, I am Kabanda Atharvana, and then he asked the question to this Patanchalam, do you know the sutra, the thread by which this world is held together, and also that which is beyond the sutra, because of which the sutra is working, the antaryami, inner controller. Do you know this thing? So we said no. Then Kavanda told us what is the sutra which is holding the world and what is the antaryami, absolute inner controller. This is how we came to know. And therefore, do you know this thing? But this Yajnavalkya said, yes, I know. Then this Aruni got very angry. Do you know this? What do you know? Can you tell us? And in this manner, it is said by her that he who knows the sutra and antaryami, he is the knower of everything. Brahmavita, Lokavita, Devavita, etc. So, Uddalak said, you are telling, I know. Oh no, blabbering. Do you really know? Tell, what is that? Up to here we have come. This was the beginning of the story. Now, we enter the mantra. The first mantra स होवाच वायुर्वै गौतम तत्सूत्रम वायुना वै गौतम सूत्रेण अयम च लोकाः परश्च लोकाः सर्वाणि च भूतानि संदृब्धानि भवन्ति तस्माद् वै गौतम पुरुषं प्रेतं आहुर्व्यस्रं शिशतांगास्यानीति वाजुना हि गौतम सूत्रेण संदृब्धानि भवन्ति एतम् एव एतत् याज्ञवल्क्य अंतर्यामिणं ब्रूहीति. Nobody said, Yajnavalkya said, hey Gautama, see, so homaja Yajnavalkya. ब्रह्मलोकाः यस्मिन् ओता प्रोताश्च वर्तमाने काले यथा पृथ्वी अप्सु तत् सूत्रम आगमगम्यम वक्तव्यम इति. Now, as it is told in the, with the authority of the scripture, that today vartamane kale prithvi apsu, like the earth is supported by the waters, in the same manner agamagamyam vaktavyam, we have to know that the authority and the last means and the authoritative means of knowledge is the scriptures. It is not the imagination or the intellectual gymnastic of the intellectuals. It is not that. And therefore, Sutram Agamagamyam Vaktavyam iti Prashnan Prashnantaram Utthapitam. And therefore, this question was said. Atatas Nirnayaya Aha. Vayurvai, therefore, to tell this with the authority of the scripture. Vayurvai Gautama Tas Sutram Nanyat. So it is said in the scriptures that Vayu is, hey Gautama, hey Aruni, is the sutra by which the whole world is held together. Now Vayu iti. What is the meaning of Vayu? Is it air? Sukshma Akashavat Vishtambhakam Prithvyadi Nama Yadatmakam Sapta Dushavidham Lingam Karma Vasana Samavayi Praninam. Therefore, this tattva is as subtle as the space. And therefore, here by the word Vayu, what is meant is that it is as subtle as the space, and this Akash or the Vayu is able to sustain, hold all these things and beings together. And it is the Karma Vasana Mai. See, with the karma and vasana, the 17 principles of which the subtle deha is made. This principle, from where this gross body is created, and in this manner there is samashti veshtatmakam cha. Now this is very important to understand. See, the Ishvara samashti, Paramatma, Brahman associated with the conditioning of Maya is called as Ishvara, unmanifest. Then this is at totality level. At individuality level, it is the Anandamaya Kosha or Karan Sharir. Then totality level, Mahat Tattva and the Hiranyagarbha or Sutratma. At the individual level, it is the subtle body or the Taijasa. The subtle body is the instrument, and Taijasa is the expression through the instrument. Then the gross world, Virata Purusha, and at the individual level, the gross body and the Jagrat Purusha. So Vishwa and Vishwa is the individual and Virat Purusha is the total. Taijasa is the individual subtle body, and Sutratma is the total subtle body. And Anandamaya Kosha, Karan Sharira is the individual causal body, and Ishvara is the total subtle causal body. In this manner, Samashti Veshtatmakam Yasya Bhaya Veda Sapta Sapta Marudganaha Samudrasa Iva Urmayaha Tadetad Vayavyam Tattvam Sutramitya Vidhiyate. So this principle, which is like the space, like the air, is made up of the 17 principles. And it is like Samudrasa Iva Urmayaha. See? Like the waves on the ocean, in the same manner, these 49 principles of Marudgana, the air, they are holding this whole world universe together. the totality as well as individuality. This is called a sutra. वायुना वै गौतम सूत्रेण अयम च लोका परश्च लोका सर्वाणि च भूतानि संदृब्धानि भवन्ति संग्रहितानि संग्रहितानि भवन्ति इति प्रसिद्धमेतम्. Therefore, hey Gautam, it is by the thread of the Vayu or this Linga Deha or the subtle body at the individual and totality level, this world and the total world is held together. This is very much known, and therefore how it is prasiddha metar asti cha loke prasiddha kadam yasmad vayu sutram vayuna vidrutam sarvam tasmad vai gautama purusha pretamahu kathayanti. When this subtle body or the jiva bhava or the linga deha or the prana, when it goes out of the body, then that body is called as the dead, pretamahu kathayanti. And then what happens? Visrashata visrasta anyasya purushasya angani iti. Then it is said, all the parts of the body will be disintegrated. Sutra apagamehi manyadinam. Like, from the rosary or from a garland, if the thread is removed, all the flowers or the beads become separate, they become disintegrated. In the same manner, Sutra apagamehi manyadinam protanam asamsarasam drishtam, they become disintegrated. Evam Vayu Sutram, and in this manner, this Vayu, the subtle body, at the individual and total level, is the Sutra. Therefore, Hiranyagarbha is also called as Sutratma. See. Now here, although it is out of the topic, but I like to mention, very important. We have studied Yoga Vasishta. And in the Yoga Vasishta, there is a story of Leela and Saraswati. And it is the story which tells everything is happening in the mind of the Leela, who was sitting next to her, the husband's dead body, which was covered with flowers. And there itself it is happening. She invoked Saraswati, so Saraswati came. Then along with Saraswati, this Leela, both of them went, and they went to this thing and that thing, and they went to the Himalayas. There is one Brahmin, and he is like there are so many. So dream in a dream in a dream in a dream. And ultimately, when she comes back to her own place, so she has gone nowhere, she was sitting only there. Friends, this point, if we can understand, we have understood a lot in the spiritual path. It is something like, keep two mirrors in front of each other. There will be innumerable reflections between them. In the same manner, in the dream of Brahmaji, Hiranyagarbha or Sutratma, in the dream is this world created. And we are the dream personalities in the dream of Brahmaji. Like in our dream, there are so many things and beings. So when our dream is over, what has happened to those people, what has happened to those events, it has no value. It is valid only as long as the dream is going on. In the same manner, in this cosmic dream, you and me are the contents. See? Therefore, what is the sutra? What is holding it together? How our five elements are not separated? What is holding the five elements together? It is the Sutratma. It is the subtle body. What we call also Jiva. The 17th Tattva they are told. 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, Pancha Pranas, and mind and intellect. 17. So these 17 together are holding the total world into one garland. Therefore, Sutra apagabehi manyadinam protanam asamstrasanam drishtam. Therefore, when this Sutra apagame, when the Sutra is removed, then all the the beads are separated, and therefore ato vayuna hi gautama sutrena tantrubdhani bhavanti nigamayati. See, nigamayati. Therefore, he Yagyavalkya told that, hey Gautam, by this Vayu or the subtle body only, this world is held together. Evame vaitar Yagyavalkya samyak uktam sutra. So Gautam said, yes, Yagyavalkya, what you told is perfectly right. तद अंतर्गतम त्विदानीम तस्यैव सूत्रस्य नियंतारम अंतर्यामिणम ब्रूहि इति युक्ताः. Now kindly tell us, one question you answered, what is the sutra? Now here we have to clearly understand. This point I have brought out number of times. Our life is nothing but a bundle of complaints. We complain about the government, we complain about the God, we complain about the neighbor, we complain about the doctors, we complain about the society, we complain about our relations. See? Now when we are complaining about others, what will be our approach to life? Our approach to life will be try to improve others. Suppose I am miserable, I imagine I am miserable because of my neighbor. So what will happen? I will try to improve that neighbor. See? Then I will leave that place and go to another place, another neighbor. And there are, after some time, you will have the same problem. See? Similarly, I am miserable because of my husband. So what will I do? I will like to change my husband. Changing a husband is divorce. Then I get again hooked up with another person. Then they are also the same thing. Those people who keep on separating one after another, their all problem is only this. They want others to change. They don't want to change. It is for this purpose, this principle is brought out in our scriptures. See, this principle should be clearly understood. What is that principle? Whatever is happening in our life, for that we are squarely responsible. How we are responsible? Whatever good or bad you have done, but I have not done anything. How the children are born with defects, how the children are born in the poor family, in drug addict families. What is the reason? So, what is the reply? Reply is, it is the karma in their last life. But I don't remember. That doesn't matter whether you remember or not. Karma will have its effect. And we accept it. So, we existed before this body was born in the last life in other body. We will continue to exist in another body after this body is dead. Therefore, we are someone other than the body. If this principle is understood, then we will get lost only in karma kanda and upasana and want to go this world, that world, putreshana, vitteshana, lokeshana. But if we are blessed by the divine will, then we will start inquiring, what is this sutra? What is this jiva? Who is he? What is his nature? And then we will come to know that Sutra Atma or the Sutra or the Jiva is controlled by the Antaryami, the Paramatma, who is not influenced by all the experiences of the Jiva. See, it is for this purpose this topic is brought up. Therefore, first of all, we have been given a clear understanding about the Sutra. Now, niyantaram antaryaminam bruhiti. Now it is said. Now tell what is the inner controller. Now this is a very beautiful, beautiful thought. Third mantra. Yaha pruthivyam tishtam pruthivyā antaroyam pruthivyam na veda yasya pruthivi shariram ya pruthivi antaram yamayati eshate atma antaryami amritaha. Now Bhagavan Shankara says, Yaha pruthivyam tishtan bhavati. that which is living in the earth. Be very attentive. Where the gold lives, what is the house of the gold? House of the gold is the ornaments. See? How simple it is. So, ya pruthivyam tishtam bhavati, because the earth is supported by the absolute reality, the Brahman. Therefore, where is the Brahman? Brahman is in the Prithvi. Pruthivyam tishtam bhavati. If we do not have recognition of any particular thing, we will not ask any question. So what we know? Prithvi, the gross. Ya pruthivyam tishtan bhavati saha antaryami. He is the inner controller. Now how is he the inner controller? Sarvaha pruthivyam tishtati iti sarvatra prasango mahabhut iti vishinashti prithivya antaro abhyantaram. See? Sarvaha pruthivyam tishtati. There are so many things and beings which are living in the earth. Therefore, one should not get the wrong understanding. Therefore, bhuta vishinashti prithivya antaro ityadi. Therefore, one should not get this confusion. It is said that pruthivyam antaro abhyantara is the substratum of the prithvi. Tatra etasyat prithvi daivataiva antaryamayati aha. Now, this is another important principle of our scriptures. Everything has to be recognized from three standpoints. One is Adi Bhautik, second is Adi Daivik, third is Adhyatmik. See? Adi Bhautik is the worldly objects. Adi Daivik is the Prithvi Mata, Bhu Lakshmi, who is the wife of Narayana. That is Adi Daivik. And the body of which, the body in which we are living, that is Adi Bhautik. See, three of them. Adi Bhautik is, that is Adhyatmik, sorry. Adi Bhautik is the gross Prithvi. Adi Daivik is the Prithvi Mata. And Adhyatmik is the gross body. Therefore, Prithivya antaro abhyantara tatra etasyat Prithvi devata eva antaryameti aha. Therefore, who is controlling the Prithvi? It is the Prithvi Devata that controls. Yam antaryaminam Prithvi Devatam api na veda. Now to this antaryami, the inner controller of everything, even the Prithvi Devata, she also doesn't know. Now gross inert Prithvi cannot know because it is inert. Now this inert Prithvi is supported by the sentient Prithvi Devata. Now this Prithvi Devata also does not know what is the Antaryami, what is the source, who is controlling the Prithvi Devata. So, Prithvi Devata api na vedam mai anya kaschid vartate iti. Then other than me, even the Prithvi Devata also doesn't know. She thinks that I am the only one. Yasya Prithvi Shariram. Yasya cha Prithivya eva Shariram. Prithvi eva Shariram. So that Brahman, that Paramatma, that Antaryami, whose the body, the Prithvi, the earth is the body, Nanyat Prithvi Devatayaha yas Shariram. And therefore, this Prithvi Devata, the Prithvi is the body of the Prithvi Devata. Tadeva Shariram yasya. Sharira Grahanancha Upalakshanartham. Therefore, telling the body, it is just to indicate. Karanam cha Prithivya. See? Therefore, when it is said Prithvi, so it is both the Adi Bhautik and the Adi Daivik. Like our structural eyes are Adi Bhautik. Functional eyes are Adi Daivik. See? The functional aspect, the vision is Adi Daivik. In the same manner, Sharira yasya grahanam cha upalakshanartham karanam cha prithivya tasya swakarma prayuktam hi karyam karanam hi cha prithvi devataya. Therefore, this Prithvi Devata has both the gross body karya and karan, the sense organs. So body and the sense organ, according to their karma, they have got it. See? Tadasya swakarma bhavat Antaryamina Nityamuktatvat. And therefore, this Antaryami who is supporting the Prithvi, which is the result of its own karma and the sense organ, body, etc., is supported by this Antaryami and Nityamuktatvat. But Antaryami is ever liberated, meaning he is not influenced by all that is happening to Prithvi and the Prithvi Devata. See? Gross eyes, Prithvi. Vision, Prithvi Devata. This is just an example, understand it. In place of the earth, keep the eyes. In case of the vision, keep the Prithvi Devata. Then they cannot influence or they cannot know what is behind the vision. See? This is what is mentioned here. Karyam karanam cha prithvi devatayaha tadasya swakarma bhavat. See? So, Karyakaran belongs to the Prithvi Devata and Asya Swakarma Abhavat Antaryamina Nityamuktatvat. But in case of the Antaryami, is not because of any karma. It is absolute, without any karma, etc. Therefore, Nityamuktatvat is ever liberated, ever present as it is. Parartha kartavyata swabhavat parasya yat karyam karanam cha tadevasya. Therefore, parartha kartavyata swabhavatvat. It is only supporting others. Like the space is supporting the four elements. It is not having any interest. And therefore, it is neither rejecting the four elements nor getting influenced by the four elements. Presence and absence of the elements makes no difference to the space in the same manner. Presence or absence of this world is no more influencing this Antaryami. So, Parartha Kartavyata Svabhavatvar Parasya Yat Karyam Karanam Cha Tadevasya. And therefore it is said that this Antaryami is such that which is supporting everything, but it does not have na sataha tasya karanam cha. Therefore it doesn't have any cause and karya, the gross body and the subtle body. Tadaha yasya prathivi shariramiti. And therefore for this Antaryami, the gross body and the subtle body is the Sharira, the body wherefrom Paramatma is expressing. Devata karya karanasya ishwarasya sakshimatra sannidhena hi niyamena pravrutti nivrutti syatam. So it is only by the witnessing presence of this Antaryami, all the faculties are functioning in their respective places. See, niyamena pravrutti nivrutti syat. They are able to function, get involved or withdrawn only on the substratum of this absolute reality. Ya idrug Ishvaraha Narayanakhyaha. This is the Ishvara and he is the Narayana, called as Narayana. Prithvi Devatam Yamayati Niyamayati Swavyapare. So this Narayana, see, Narayana has two wives. Lakshmi is the Chanchala and Prithvi is the Sthira. See, we also have the movable property, immovable property. So, Narayana is thus having these two wives. One is the Prithvi, and second, that is the Bhumata, and second is the Lakshmi Mata. So, Idusha Ishvaraha Narayana Kya Prithvi Devatam Yamayati. So, he is Narayana or the Brahman or Antaryami is controlling the Prithvi, Niyamayati, is controlling. Swavyapare. So whatever is the function of the Prithvi is controlled by, supported by, without getting influenced by the Prithvi. Antaraha Abhyantara Tishtan. How does he do? He is just a support. He is just a substrata. Now here Antaraha we have to understand. Antara means not only inside. The Prithvi is in this reality. See? Mayeva sakalam jatam, may sarvam pratishtitam. Mai sarvam layam yati tad brahmadvayam asmya. Unless we understand it this way, we will be only imagining that inside the Prithvi there is Paramatma. No, Paramatma is supporting the earth by going beyond inside outside concept. See, this point I got to you so many times. External air, internal air. Together maintain the body. If there is only internal air and no external air, body will die. See, if there is only external air but internal air is not there, body will die. Therefore, body is not body is inside the air. Air is not inside the body. This is what we have to clearly understand. Antaraha abhyantara tishtan. Therefore, in this Paramatma, this earth and the presiding deity of the earth, it is supported. Esha te atma te tava. This is your atma. See? Mamacha sarva bhutanam. So it is not only your atma, my atma, but all the beings. Iti upalakshanartham etat. Antaryami yastvaya prishta. This is what you have asked me. Who is the Antaryami? This Antaryami is the one who is supporting the gross world, the subtle world, and not only of you and me, but everything and being. So, te atma tava mamacha sarva bhutanam cheti upalakshanartham etam. So, in short, it is said, this is the absolute reality. Antaryami yastvaya prishtaha. You have asked me, who is the Antaryami? This Brahma, this Paramatma, this Narayana, he is the Antaryami. And how it is? Amritaha. Sarva samsara dharma varjitaha ityeta. So, Amrita means what? He is free from all the problems of the relative existence. See? This is how the thing has to be understood. So, what is Antaryami? See? Yaha pruthivyam tishtan, the one which is existing in the earth. Prithivya antaroyo, antaroyam, and who is inside the Prithvi. And Prithvi in a Veda, the Prithvi Devata, Bhu Devata doesn't know. Yasya Prithvi Shariram, the Prithvi, the earth is the body of this Paramatma. Yaha Prithvim Antaro, but he is not only living inside, but he is controlling because he is beyond the limitations of the Prithvi. Therefore, Prithvyam Antaro Yamayati Esha, this is what is the Atma Antaryami, and that Atma you are, Tattvamasi. Te Atma Antaryami Amritaha. Not only you, but all the things and beings. This is how the Antaryami was explained with reference to one element, the Prithvi. Now, the next mantra is a very big one. Mantras are put together. Yaha apsotishtan adbhya antaro yamapaha na viduhu yasya apaha shariram yo api antaraha yamayati esha ta atma antaryami amritaha yogno tishtan agnentaraha yamagnim na veda yasya agnim shariram yo magnim antaro yamayati esha te atma antaryami amritaha yo antarikshe nishtishtan antarikshadantaro यम अंतरिक्षम न वेद यस्य अंतरिक्षम शरीरम यो अंतरिक्षम अंतरो यमयति एषते आत्मा अंतर्यामी अमृता यो वायो देन यो दिवी देन यो यहाँ आदित्य तिष्ठन यहाँ दिक्षु तिष्ठन देन यह चंद्र तारके तिष्ठन देन यह आकाशे तिष्ठन यहाँ यस्तमसी तिष्ठम तमसो अंतरो या तमो न वेद यस्य तमः शरीरम यस्तमसो अंतरो यमयति एषते आत्मा अंतर्यामी. And the last, यस तेजसी तिष्ठन् तेजसो अंतरो यम तेजो न वेद यस्य तेज शरीरम यस्य तेजोन्तरः यमयति एष य आत्मा अंतर्यामी अमृत इति अधिदैवतम अधिभूतम अथ अधिभूतम. So अधिदैविक first is told. See? Iti adhidaivatam. Adhidaivatam is at the level of the totality functional aspect. So what are the functional aspects are these various gods. See, Yaha Apsutishtan, that which is living in the water, and then that which is inside the water, but the water doesn't know this, and that which is controlling the water from inside, that Atma you are, and that is the Atma of everything and being. In this manner, all the various Adidaivik Shaktis are taken into consideration. Therefore, it is said here, Ityadi Adidaivatam. Now, Atha Adibhutam. After having told the same thing now, you have to understand with reference to the third mantra. Now we come to the next one. Yaha sarveshu bhuteshu tishtan sarvebhyo bhutebhyo antaro yam sarvani bhutani na viduhu yasya sarvani bhutani shariram yah sarvani bhutebhyo antara yameti eshate atma amritaha iti adibhutam. So this was the adibhutam with reference to the adi bhautik and with reference to the various devatas presiding over in them, that was adi devi. Atha adhyatmam. Now we try to understand how this Paramatma is our essential nature and Adhyatmam referring to oneself. So here again a similar way, there are almost a dozen mantras which will tell us this. यहाँ सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन् सर्वेभ्यो भूतेभ्यो अन्तरः यं सर्वाणि भूतानि न विदुः यस्य सर्वाणि भूतानि शरीरं य सर्वाणि भूतानि अन्तरः यं यमयति एष ते आत्मा अंतर्यामी अमृतः इति अधिभूतम. So up to here is adibhuta. Adidaiva we have seen earlier. Now the Mahabhutas, so Adibhuta is said. Now Athadhyatmam. Now we come to the Adhyatmam. Ya pranaha tishtan pranad antaro ya prano yam prano naveda yasya pranaha shariram yam pranam antaro yamayati esha te atma antaryami amritaha. In the same manner, after the prana, then vachi. Yo vachi tishtam vacho antarayana vang na veda yasya vak shariram yo vacham antaraha yamayati esha ta atma te atma antaryami amritaha. Chakshushi the eyes, Shrotre the ears, Manasi the mind, Tvachi the skin, then the Yo Vijnane the inner knowledge experience, and ultimately Yo Retasi Tishtan, the one which is supporting the karmendriyas or the biological liquids, and therefore ultimately Te Atma Amrutaha. Now what is his? Amruto adrushtaha, drushta shrutaha, shrota mataha, vanta vidnyataha, vidnyata nanya asti tado asti brahma adrashta, nanya asti shrota, nanya asti manta ityadi ityadi. In this manner, what is this antaryami with reference to our individuality is told. Now this is what we have to very clearly and distinctly understand. This is pertaining to ourselves. We have to know the truth as our essential nature. Atha adhyatmam. Now we take the adhyatma. Yaha prane pranavayu sahite grane. See? Pranavayu means where? Granendriya. Yo vachi in the speech, chakshushi eyes, shrotre in the ears, manasi in the mind, tvachi in the skin, vijnane in the experience, Bauddha in the intellect, Retasi Prajanane, and in the breeding ability, Prajanane, Kasmat Punaha Karanat Pruthivyadi Devata Mahavagaha, Satyo Manushado Iva Atmane Tishtanda Atmano Niyantaram Antaryaminam Navidu Ityaha. Now, how come that we can understand that the Prithvi etc. don't understand or know though. But how come a person cannot understand? So Manushadi Atmane Tishtan Atmanaha Niyantaram Antaryaminam Na Vidu. See? How can man knows everything, but how come he doesn't know? See? Therefore, here iti aha. So Yajnavalkya says, adrushto na drushto na vishayi bhutaha. See, it is not an object of knowledge. Adrushtaha, na drushtaha, na vishayi bhutaha, and therefore it cannot become an object of knowledge. And then chakshuhu darshanasya kasyachid. Eyes can see everything else, it cannot see the source. See? Swayam ta chakshushi sannihitatvat drishya swarupa iti drashta. See? So actually the eyes can see everything except its source, and because it is in association with the eyes, therefore it is called as the drashta. That means he is only the seer but does not become influenced by what is seen, and therefore he is the antaryami, inner controller. See, this point we brought to you so many times. Now we have got the authority of the Upanishad. Colors and forms cannot see the eyes. Eyes cannot see the mind. Mind cannot see the eye. The Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha cannot know the Chaitana. Chaitana cannot know the Chaitanya. Therefore, Chaitanya is the Antaryami. See, therefore, when the Chaitana departs from the body, that means when the body falls dead, nothing happens to Chaitanya. When the person is in deep sleep, nothing happens to the Chaitana. See, when the joy and sorrows come, nothing happens to the Vijnanamaya Kosha. When the sense organs are functioning or not functioning, nothing happens to the intellect. Whether the objects are there or not, nothing happens to the sense organs. Because they are the antaryami. Therefore, here it is very beautifully brought out that adrushto na drushtaha na vishay bhutaha. The truth cannot become an object of knowledge. Chakshuhu darshanasya kasyachid. So by these eyes you cannot know the truth. If you go to Upanishad, na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vak gacchati, na manaha, na vidmaha, na vijanimaha, yatha etad anushishyat. That small little mantra is brought out through this story in an exhaustive way. It is the same thing. See? In Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells Arjuna, Divyam dadami te chakshu pashyame yogameshwaram. You will not be able to anena charma chakshusha. See? By your this physical eyes, you will not be able to know me. Therefore, I give the divine vision. This divine vision tells us that the truth can never become an object of knowledge. Therefore, swayam na chakshushi sannihit, swayam tu chakshushi sannihitatpat drushi swarupam iti drashta. Because it is association with the eyes, therefore he is called as drashta, otherwise not. Tatha shrutaha. Shrotro gocharatvam anapannaha kasyachit. Similarly, ashruta cannot be heard by anybody because the truth is not a sound. It cannot be an object of knowledge for the ears. Swayam tu alupta shravana shakti. By when we try to hear him, because it is not having any sound, ashabdam, asparsham, arupam, agandham, arasam. So when these attributes are not there, how can the sense organ know the truth? In this manner, slowly, tatha amataha, manasankalpa vishayatam apannaha. See, vishayatam anapannaha. Similarly, it cannot become the object of knowledge for the mind because it cannot be held by the mind as a joy or sorrows. Drushta shrute eva hi sarva sankalpayati adrushtatvad ashrutatvad evam ataha. Therefore, mind can think about something what is heard or seen. It is neither seen nor heard. Therefore, mind cannot think about the truth. Alupta manana shaktitvad. There here, the ability of the mind to think about the truth is completely important. Sarva manassu sannihitatvacha manta. But this Paramatma is supporting from within the mind, and therefore he becomes the knower. So Paramatma with the conditioning of the mind is the knower. Otherwise, he is neither the knower nor the unknower. तथा विज्ञानतः निश्चय गोचरतराम अनापन्ना रूपादिवत सुखादिवद्धि. Similarly, with reference to the Vijnanamaya and all these things. So, Tatra yam prithivim na veda yam sarvani bhutani na vidu. We have seen earlier that which cannot be known by the Prithvi, earth, that which cannot be known by all the things, all the Panchamahabhutas, na viduhu cha anne niyantavya vidyataro anya niyanta antaryamiti praptam. Therefore, one may say, imagine that these inner control of the Prithvi is separate, and the inner control of the sense organ and Vijnata is separate, and he is different from one Antaryami to another Antaryami. Tadanya Shanka Nivrutyartham Uchyate. That to remove this wrong notion that there are different Antaryami, inner controller. For the gross world, the inert world, the control is different. The inert world, the inner world, for the beings, the inner controller is different. No. To remove this doubt, it is said, na anyahata, na anya ataha, asmad antaryaminaha na anya asti. Therefore, there is but one antaryami, and that antaryami is na anya asti drashta. There is nobody who can know him. Tatha na anya asti shrota. Nobody can hear him. Nobody can think of him. Nobody can vidnyata. In this manner, jasmat paro nasti drashta shrota manta vidnyata yo adrushtaha drashta ashrutaha shrota. Therefore, he is the seer, but he is not the see. No, he is he cannot be known. In short, if all these put together, see, he cannot be an object of vision, but he becomes the seer of everything. He cannot be an object of hearing, but he knows everything. He cannot be an object of the mind, but he can think of everything. In this manner, sarva samsara dharma varjitaha amrita. Therefore, like the Sakshi is uninfluenced by what is illuminated. Like this light in front of me. The light is not influenced whether here satsanga is going on, a dussanga is going on. It makes no difference. In the same manner, this conscious reality that we are, sarva samsara dharma varjitaha, sarva samsarinanam karma phala vibhaga karta eshate antaryami. Therefore, he is not influenced by any samsara dharma relativity, but all the relativity is controlled in the form of karma phala vibhaga karta. He is the one who is controlling the law of karma, the law of earth, the law of all the five great elements, the law of the nature. All of them are controlled by this absolute reality, the Brahman. Esha te Atma. Now this Atma, what we are talking about, Antaryami, it is your Atma, man. It is my Atma. It is the Atma of everything and being. Asmat iti Ishvaraha, Ishvara Atmanaha, Anyat Artam. And therefore, this Paramatma, the Ishvara, the inner controller, is other than the Atma, because he is not Vinashi, he is not Artha, he is Anartha. Therefore, this is the meaning of the Anyat Anartham. Tatoho Uddalikaha Arunim Upararama. And having heard this thing, then this Uddalaka Aruni, he became quite, yes, I know now. Hey Yagyavalkyaji, you know. Very clearly it is said. With this we have completed the seventh Brahmana. Now we enter the eighth Brahmana. Ataha Parama अतः परम अशनायादि विनिर्मुक्तम निरुपाधिकम साक्षात अपरोक्ष सर्वांतरम ब्रह्म वक्तव्यम इति आरंभः. Now, what is the next topic now? That which is nirupadhika, ashanayadi vinirmuktam nirupadhikam. That which is free from ashana pipasa, prana dharma, jara mrityu, sthula deha dharma, and shoka moha manodharma. That one which is free from these limitations of the panchakoshas, etc., and sakshat aparokshad, and it is direct, immediate experience of our being, and therefore sarvantaram Brahma, controlling everything and being, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, and Adhyatmik, that Brahma Vaktavyam. Now, what is that Brahma is to be told, and therefore we start the 18th Brahmana. Not 18th, 8th Brahmana, Ashtama. So, Atha, Ha, Vachaknavu, Uvacha. Vachaknavi, Uvacha. Now, Vachaknavi, this Gargi, she says, Brahmana, Bhagvanto Hanta Ham Imam, Dau Prashno Prakshami, Tau Chenme Vakshati, न तो न जातु युष्माकम इमं कश्चित ब्रह्मोद्यम जेतेति पृच्छ गार्गीति. अतः वाचक्नवी उवाच. Now this Gargi Vachaknavi, she said to all the Brahmanas which are sitting in that assembly in front of the king Janaka, she addressed to all of them. Aham imam do prashno prakshami. See, I want to ask two questions to Yajnavalkya. Tau chenme vakshati. That means now she is okay. Then we'll see. Bhagwan's commentary is very good. Atha ha vachaknavi uvacha. Purva Yajnavalkya nishiddha murdhapata bhayat uparata sati. Now this is very beautiful. Bhagwan Shankaracharya brings. Earlier, when she was asking all nonsense questions, and ultimately she wanted to know the truth through logic, and therefore she was scolded. If you ask Ati Prashna, if you have nonsense question, your head will be split into 1,000 and die. Okay? Don't ask stupid questions. Therefore, Purva Yajnavalkya nishiddha. Earlier, Yajnavalkya has scolded her, negated her. Murdha pata bhayat uparata sati. And therefore, out of fear, she was withdrawn from asking further question, in the earlier thing. Uparata sati punaha prashtum brahmanano dnyam prarthayate. Therefore, again she is asking all the wise people sitting there in the assembly, she requests, Hey Brahmana, Bhagavantaha, Pujavantaha, Sruduta Mama Vachaha. Hey Bhagwan, all respected Brahmanas, please listen to what I say. Hanta aham imam Yajnavalkyam punaha do prashno prakshami. Now listen, I just want to ask again two questions to Yajnavalkya. Should I ask? Yad anumatir bhavatam asti. If you give me permission, then I will ask. Tau prashno ched yadi vakshati kathayishanti me. If he is able to tell me these two questions properly replied, kathanchin navai jato kadachid yushmakam madhe imam Yajnavalkyam kaschid brahmodyam brahmavadam prati jeta navai kaschid bhavediti. So, if Yajnavalkya replies these two questions, vakshati kadayishati kadayishami te kathanchid vai jatu kadachid yushmakam madhe. No, none between among you, Yushmakam madhe, imam Yajnavalkyam, this Yajnavalkya, who is talking about the Brahman, Brahmavadanam, prati jeta navai kaschid bhavetiti. Then none of you will be able to defeat. You cannot win over him under any condition if he answers these two questions clearly. Eva mukta brahmana anudyam pradaduhu. And thus Brahmanas have given permission. Om. Okay. Prucha Gargi iti. Okay, Gargi, you want to ask question? You ask. See? And then Saho Vacha. Now the Gargi started asking question. अहम वै त्वा याज्ञवल्क्य यथा काश्यो वा वैदेहो वा वोग्रपुत्र उज्जम धनुरधिश्य कृत्वा दो बाणवन्तौ सपत्नातिव्याधिनौ हस्ते कृतो उपतिष्ठति एवम् आह त्वादाभ्यां प्रश्नाभ्याम उपोदस्थां तौ मे ब्रूहीति पृच्छगार्गीति. Now here also she is using very peculiar term. Labdhanudnya Yagyavalkyam sa hovacha. When she got permission from the Brahmanas to, okay, you want to ask question, you ask. Then she said, Aham vai tvam do prashno prakshami iti anushajyate. So now I shall ask you two questions. Kautau iti jidnyasayam tayoho dur uttaratvam dyotayitam drishtantapurvakam aha. See? Now kautau iti jidnyasayam. If you want to know what are those two questions, then tayoho dur uttaratvam. See, they are very difficult. They are not so simple questions. Dyotayitam, to indicate this, that the questions that I am asking, they are extremely difficult. And to tell how difficult they are, she gives an example. Drishtanta purvakam tava. So what she said, Hey Yagyavalkya, yatha loke kashyaha kashishu bhava kashyaha prasiddham shaurya kashye vaideho va videya nam va raja. Ugraputra. Shuran vaya ityartaha. No, just like a big king or a Rajaputra from Kashi or Videha, when they are very powerful and strong, and what they do? Ujjam avataraish jakam dhanu, then they will be taking the bow and fix the pratyancha, fix the string to that, and thereafter that two arrows are simultaneously hit to the Bana Shabdena Sharagre, Yo Vamsha Khanda Sandhiyate. Now here the word Bana is used. Bana means what? Only the stick is not the Bana. But when the tip of the stick is covered with steel or something hard, then it becomes a Bana. In the same manner, these questions that I am asking you, they are like that, very powerful, very difficult. Tena vinashi sharo bhavati ityatha vishinishtaha banavantav iti. So by these two arrows or the bana, the person who gets the hit of it, they are definitely subject to death. And therefore, this banavanto sharau tayoho visheshanam sapatnati vyadhinau shatro. And because of that, when this shatru or the enemy is hit by this bana, they really suffer. Pida kara atishayena. They become extremely, they create extreme miseries for these shatru, the enemy to whom these arrows are hitting. Haste krutva upadishtet samipadam atmanam darshayet. In this manner, हस्ते कृता उपतिष्ठेत समीपतः आत्मानं दर्शेत एवं अहम त्वाम शरस्थानीयाभ्याम प्रश्नाभ्याम. In this manner, now I am standing in front of you with these two arrows in my hand. See? And now Sharasariyam Prashnabhyam. Now my questions are like the two powerful and very sharp, difficult arrows in the form of these two questions. So, Dvabhyam Upodastham. Now these are the two. Uttitavati Asmi Tosamive. So I am in front of you, keeping these two arrows in my hand, ready to shoot at you. These two questions. Tau te bruhidi. So kindly tell me. See? So bruhiti. Brahma vichet ahetara pruchagargiti. See? Brahma vichet. If you are a Brahma Jnani, Brahmavit chet is a Brahmavit chet. If you are a Brahmavit, Then tell me these two questions. What is the meaning of these two questions? So in the third mantra, the question is asked. सा होवाच यदूर्ध्वं याज्ञवल्क्यो दिवो यद्वाक पृथिव्यां यदंतरा पृथिव्यां इमे यद्भूतं च भव्यच्च भविष्यच्च इति आचक्षते कस्मिन् तदोतं च प्रोतं इति च इति. Now this is the first question she asked. And thereafter, when this was answered, then Divo, Prithivya, like that, like the earlier one, these are the various questions that we shall be able to take in detail in our next satsang. See? So in short, this mantra means, Yagyavalkya, please tell, what is above the Dyulok, what is below the earth, what is the Dyulok and what is the center of the Dyulok, and that which is also the Dyulok, then that which is earth and all these various kinds of present, past and future is existing, what is that which is permeating everything and being? This is the question. Now in this question, what are the subtle points, what we have to understand as our spiritual practice, that we will try to see in our next session. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.